The Iran war just changed how America thinks about its Air Force. 4 F-15s were lost, 1 shot down by Iran, 3 destroyed by friendly fire from a Kuwaiti pilot. And that experience forced a hard question inside the Pentagon: is the current fleet actually large enough for what's coming next? The answer, apparently, is no. The U.S. Air Force now wants to double its F-15EX Eagle II fleet, and the reasoning behind that decision reveals a lot about how America plans to fight its next war. The original plan was to purchase around 130 F-15EX aircraft. That number has now been revised upward to approximately 270. This request will be formally submitted in the 2027 budget cycle, after which it goes through Pentagon approval, congressional review, and budget allocation before production can be accelerated. Already in the planned 2027 budget, 24 new F-15EX jets have been allocated funding, with around $3 billion set aside. Alongside that, the U.S. Air Force plans to retire 20 older F-15E Strike Eagles that same year, replacing them with these newer aircraft. The core mission of this expansion is straightforward: replace every F-15E Strike Eagle currently in service with the newer F-15EX Eagle II. But the role this aircraft will play is more interesting than a simple one-for-one swap. So what exactly is the F-15EX supposed to do? The U.S. Air Force describes it as a complement to the F-35A, specifically as a bomb truck and missile truck. And when you look at its payload capacity, that description makes sense. The F-15EX can carry at least 12 air-to-air missiles in a combat configuration. Boeing will tell you it can carry up to 22, and technically, that's true. But carrying 22 missiles creates so much drag that the aircraft's performance degrades to the point where it becomes impractical. 12 missiles is the realistic combat sweet spot, and even that number is significantly higher than what the F-35A carries internally. Beyond air-to-air missiles, the F-15EX can carry a large number of standoff weapons, making it valuable for long-range strike missions. The U.S. also uses this platform for Homeland cruise missile defense. Its importance becomes especially clear when you look at the Pacific theater. Distances are enormous, the primary adversary is China, and you need an aircraft that can carry heavy payloads over long ranges without the cost per sortie of a stealth platform. The F-15EX fits that requirement precisely. But it has a serious limitation, and the Iran war made that limitation impossible to ignore. The F-15EX is not a stealth aircraft. Its radar cross-section is large, it can be detected from distance, and it cannot penetrate heavily defended airspace the way an F-35 or F-22 can. What made the Iran war particularly sobering was this: Iran does not possess the most advanced air defense systems in the world. Yet even against that threat level, American aircraft were shot down. If a non-stealth platform like the F-15EX were used against a high-end adversary, China, for example, with its layered, modern integrated air defense network, the losses could be far more significant. This is why the U.S. Air Force has drawn a clear line. For deep penetration missions into heavily defended airspace, stealth aircraft go first: the F-35A, the F-22, and eventually the F-47. The F-15EX operates outside that envelope, delivering mass firepower from standoff range rather than flying into the threat. Looking at the broader U.S. Air Force fleet structure, the picture becomes clearer. Fourth generation. The F-15EX Eagle II handles the heavy lifting, while existing F-16s receive upgrades. No new F-16s are being purchased. Fifth generation, the F-35A remains in production and continues to expand. The F-22 production line has been closed, meaning the existing fleet is what America has. Sixth generation, the F-47 is under development. Once its first flight occurs, the development and production timeline will follow. There is also an emerging concept worth watching: collaborative combat aircraft, essentially advanced drones designed to fly alongside manned platforms. This concept is primarily associated with the F-47 and F-35, but it is not inconceivable that the F-15EX eventually operates alongside such systems, extending its range, sensor coverage, and overall lethality without putting a pilot at additional risk. One more factor that cannot be ignored is congressional approval. In the American system, the military cannot simply decide to expand its fleet. Congress controls the budget, and Congress can block retirements, delay purchases, and reshape procurement plans entirely. Earlier, Congress had actually blocked the U.S. Air Force from retiring older F-15E aircraft, showing that these decisions are never purely military. The new 270 aircraft plan will now be placed in front of Congress. Approval is not guaranteed, but given the current security environment and the lessons of the Iran war, the strategic case for this expansion is strong. The expectation is that it will move forward. Currently, the U.S. Air Force operates around 215 F-15 Eagle variants. The F-15E Strike Eagle in particular has been heavily used in U.S. CENTCOM operations, a reminder that this airframe, even in its older form, remains one of the most operationally relevant jets in the American inventory. The F-15EX will never go where the F-35 goes first. But in the next major conflict, whether in the Pacific or the Middle East, it will carry more weapons, fly further, and cost less per sortie than any stealth platform. It won't penetrate the threat. It will overwhelm it from the outside. And right now, that's exactly the capability the U.S. Air Force is betting its budget on.